we have some breaking updates coming in at this point in time, and this update is about Pahalgam attackers. Remember, a manhunt is currently underway for Pahalgam attackers. Amid buzz over attackers' hideout, a big claim has been made by Sri Lankan media house. As per reports, the suspects are headed to Sri Lanka. That's the latest update coming in. Sri Lanka got tip-off from India. Search operation is underway at Lankan Airport. Let me straight away go across to my colleagues tracking this story closely. We have Priyank Tripathi live with us right now, and my colleague Ritanshu also live with us on this particular story. Priyank, to you first. What more details can you share with us?
There was information which was given from the Chennai airport authorities to the Sri Lankan authorities regarding a suspected movement of a few suspects who were certainly important for the terror-related cases in India. The flight was UL 122. The flight landed around 11:35 in the morning today at Colombo airport, and following to which there was a search operation which was conducted by the Sri Lankan authorities. The mention of this press statement which has come out from the Sri Lankan airport by the Sri Lankan Airlines is clearly suggesting that the flight was a flight where the passengers were further flying to Singapore, and the flight number was then UL 308. Because of the search operation, there was a delay in the flight because the flight was taken to the taxi bay, and the BDS team of the Sri Lankan airport and other authorities like the commandos who are there on ground had moved towards the flight, and they carried out the search operation. But the flight has taken off from there after the search operation, and we are yet to know that whether few suspects have been detained in this particular operation or not. But that certainly created a panic among people there in Sri Lanka, because so far what Sri Lankan authorities have confirmed to the Sri Lankan media that this particular search operation was related to suspects who were involved in the Pahalgam attack case. But the Indian government is yet to give further clarification regarding this. The flight has been searched and it has taken off for Singapore. We are yet to get further detail from the Sri Lankan authorities and as well as from the Indian government regarding what was the information which was specifically given to the Sri Lankan airport in Colombo. But certainly what we are getting to know through the Sri Lankan media reports that the information was regarding suspected movement of the Pahalgam attackers.
Right. Priyank, request you to stay on with us. Let me go across to Ritanshu as well. Ritanshu, over to you. Give us more details.
Yes, indeed, Hina. Like as our colleague Priyank was telling us, there are some interesting media reports that have come from Sri Lanka. Now, at the outset, let us on Times Now be very clear to our viewers, there has been no official confirmation that has come on this story from Indian government officials, from any minister within the government. Here is what has happened. Here are the sequence of events so far. There are two Sri Lankan media reports, which I would just like to direct the attention of our viewers here. One is by Newswire. The other is by this website called News First. Both of them have run this headline of a special search operation at the Bandaranaike International Airport in Colombo, which says that this is after a tip-off from the Indian authorities. They say that the suspects, that 6 individuals suspected to have been involved in the recent Pahalgam terror attack were on board a flight arriving from Chennai to Colombo. And according to the Sri Lankan media report, it says that suspects are believed to have arrived via Sri Lankan Airlines flight. This same report has been corroborated by the other website as well, which again has the same headline: the flight from Chennai searched at Sri Lanka airport over Kashmir terror suspect alert, which again says the same information, that Indian authorities flagged potential suspects linked to the recent Pahalgam terror attack. It was a flight UL 122 operated by aircraft 4R ALS that landed in Colombo at around 12 noon, and the aircraft was cleared after inspection. Now, there has also been a statement which has come in from Sri Lankan Airlines itself. Now, this confirmed that the flight UL 122, which was just mentioned in the Sri Lankan media report, operated by aircraft 4R ALS, did arrive in Colombo from Chennai at 11:59 hours today. It was subjected to a comprehensive security search upon arrival. Now, the important thing to note, Hina, in this Sri Lankan Airlines statement is that it does not mention whether the suspect was connected to the Pahalgam terror attack or not. That is just what Sri Lankan media are running here. The other important point to note is that this statement says that it was regarding a suspect wanted in India who was believed to be on board, vis-a-vis the two Sri Lankan media reports which said that there were 6 suspects believed to be on board. So this is how the facts stay at this point. We are not delivering on any conjecture. The statement further goes on to say that it was the aircraft was thoroughly inspected and subsequently cleared for further operations here. Nothing more than that from Sri Lankan Airlines. There are 2 Sri Lankan media reports which say that there was an intel tip-off from India about 6 wanted men who boarded that flight from Chennai to Colombo who were connected to Pahalgam. Once again, I reiterate, there has been no official confirmation that has come on this from any Indian government agency or ministry so far.
Right. So we will definitely wait for it. The reports are extremely important, and that's what we are reflecting for our viewers right now. Ritanshu, thank you for your inputs on the story. Let me go back to Priyank, who continues to be with us. Priyank, now that point is important. There was a tip-off. 6 individuals suspected to be involved in Pahalgam terror attack that took place. So have you spoken to your sources on these reports, these claims that are being made by Sri Lankan media?
Early in the morning around 8:30 also, I got some information regarding suspected movement from the national capital itself. And then we contacted the local police, and the local police was also trying to look out for the information regarding the movement of these suspects who were claimed to be identified by the residents. So not only from Chennai, because someone could have given this kind of tip-off to the Chennai authorities, which led to this kind of massive amount of panic at the Colombo airport, because of which the search operation has been carried out, and we are yet to get confirmation that whether this kind of suspected movement which was spotted by one of the passengers was actually true or not. But the people want justice for the Pahalgam victim, and the manner in which it is coming up, the pictures, every time it's coming up on the social media platform as well as on the mainstream media, people are there trying to any kind of suspected movement of any individual, and if the face is resembling to that these 3 attackers is being correlated to the Pahalgam attackers. So I would not deny this fact that multiple information are received by multiple agencies, but in this particular case, while the search operations are being carried out at different level on ground, this on-air scare was very much dramatic, and it has certainly raised huge amount of panic that how is it possible that the Pahalgam attackers could manage to reach Chennai and then they flew to Sri Lanka. That is the reason because of which this case is very much important to be highlighted for our viewers. That's why we have brought this information. While talking about knowing about the suspects who have been detained, I've tried to get in touch with the officials, and they have yet to confirm that whether any suspected person who was related to the Pahalgam attack could have been identified at the Colombo airport or not. But while talking about the first point, certainly since morning and since yesterday, I myself have got multiple phone calls, and the message has been passed from the Times Network to various police sources, because I've been reporting with multiple agencies over the period of last 2 decades. So we have passed this information, but nothing substantial has come out from those inputs also.
Okay, but we'll wait for an official reaction from the Indian side, because it is a very, very sensitive issue. Stay on with us, Priyank. We have Lahiru Doloswala, who is live with us from Colombo, from Sri Lanka. Thank you very much, Lahiru, for joining us here on Times Now. Can you just give us more details? Because we are seeing reports coming in from Sri Lanka, and these are big claims that are being made by these Sri Lankan media houses that, suspected the suspects of the Pahalgam terror attack were headed to Lanka. There is a search operation that is also underway. What is the real story? What can you share with us?
So far, the Sri Lankan media is also getting to know this news story. It's right now breaking in Sri Lankan media. As far as we've got confirmation from the Sri Lanka police that there's a special search operation that's currently underway at the Bandaranaike International Airport. And this search operation is underway after the Sri Lankan authorities got a tip-off from India about potential suspects, around 6 individuals suspected to be involved in the recent terror attacks that took place in India, had been on board a flight arriving from Chennai. So far, we have got no other official statements coming from the Sri Lankan police other than the confirmation that this search operation is underway, and it is about 6 individuals who are suspected to be connected to the recent terror attacks that took place in India. And there's also a statement given by Sri Lankan Airlines that also operates in the Bandaranaike International Airport. But it's a developing situation, and there are more updates coming in. And this is also like a breaking news situation right now taking place in Sri Lanka.
All right, so that's a big claim coming in from Sri Lanka. Lahiru, thank you for the moment for joining us with your inputs. We'll, of course, be connecting with you again to get more updates on it. Thank you very much, Priyank, for joining us with your inputs on the story.